but I'm now obligated to you to review 1997's Volcano, chat. Now, as I said before, this was the second of two Volcano movies that came out in the year 1997. It was the summer of the dueling Volcano film, chat. Before that, Dante's Peak had come out, critically maligned, but a commercial success. Volcano, while it got a little more positive reaction from critics, it was much less of a success. People were like, look, listen, one Volcano movie is enough per year, okay? We don't need to, and sadly, this film, ended up, while slightly better critical reaction, it did not do very well at the box office, chat. Had a budget of about $90 million, very expensive for the time. Box office about 122.8, so they really didn't make a profit on that when you also think of the marketing that went into the film, too. So, worldwide, not great. It was the time when Tommy Lee Jones, he was the hot shit. He was appearing in so many films during the 1990s. Thanks to, his Academy Award-winning role in The Fugitive. I mean, appearing some great stuff, too, chat. Obviously, Men in Black he did, which I reviewed on this stream, loved it. He was also appearing in a lot of blockbusters, too. He was just in really hot demand. And even though he wasn't great in the film, he played Two-Face in Batman Forever? So, yeah. So, people liked him. Audiences responded to him, just not in this particular film. I think this is the reason why is... this is my problem, like I said before, of all disaster films. It's just you don't spend enough time with any of the characters because the focus is always on the disaster. And I get it, that's kind of the point. But then it's just hard to get invested with all these people. Like, Tommy Lee Jones is here, and he's playing that, that Tommy Lee Jones, like, hey, I'm the guy in charge, I'm the smartest guy in the room. But he always speaks down to earth, and I think that's why he has that appeal. But there's not enough of that in this movie because you're spending so much other time with these characters you just don't care about whatsoever. And you're really just waiting to see if are they going to die in, like, a horrific way? And yeah, they do. Some of them do, certainly. Not if you're a secondary character or a main character, you're safe. But if you're a tertiary character, you are fucked. If you had like a couple lines talking to Tommy Lee Jones before, and you're not consistently talking to him, that's it for you, okay? Either you're gonna die, or you're gonna get fucked up real bad. And that's what happens a lot in this movie, Chad. And for that, it's entertaining. But, overall, do you need to see this film? Not really. I told you before, I'd give this a high rental. Maybe watch it with some friends to check out some of these ridiculous death scenes. And they are indeed fucking ridiculous and comedic at this point. Maybe back in the day, horrifying. But now it's like, that looks ridiculous. But here we go, chat. We'll get into it, chat. It's 1997 Los Angeles, and we're watching Tommy Lee Jones. He's cooking some eggs, chat. And these things look like the most disgusting eggs. As before, the eggs have kind of, just become that nice little fluffy texture that you always like. It's like, oh, it's making scrambled eggs. But it looks like the egg batter that people at schools, like the cooks pour into the pan. It's just, that doesn't look right. That's not real eggs. And that's what he's cooking in here. So clearly they just like, okay, he has to do something in this scene, have him cook eggs. And Tommy Lee Jones was failing at it over and over again. And when it was still in like its liquid form, Tommy Lee Jones was saying, eggs are done. It's like, Tommy Lee Jones, those eggs are definitely not done, okay? Don't feed your kid raw eggs, all right? They're going to get salmonella, and they're going to get hospitalized, and you can't be near the hospital in this movie, chat, because what's going to happen is the volcano's going to come up and explode, and those people are going to die. That's like the third act of the film. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's what happens in the third act of the film. But, chat, Tommy Lee Jones, he's basically in charge of the Office of Emergency Management, at Los Angeles. It's a very busy job, but he's taking a much-needed vacation, chat. Don Cheadle, who wants Tommy Lee Jones' job really bad, he's in charge right now, but Tommy Lee Jones, he just can't stay away because, chat, about a couple hours beforehand, there was this massive earthquake that hit L.A. and parts of California. And all these scientists are like, we can't understand what caused it. It doesn't make any sense. Now, even though California's on a fault line, the fault lines seem okay. This was something else. We just can't identify. They don't understand, chat. They didn't have the volcano detector on hand. And so Tommy Lee Jones is like, okay, daughter, listen, here's some eggs that are liquefied. Just you take the funnel and put them inside you. I'm going to call the babysitter who does yoga for a scene. And she's going to take care of it. I'm going to go in the office. So, chat, we follow Tommy Lee Jones. He goes to the office. Don Cheadle, he's putting all these people in charge, trying to figure out what all these earthquakes about. And he's none too pleased to see Tommy Lee Jones. Like, clearly they have a relationship. Like, they're on good terms, but it's obvious Don Cheadle wants to be the head honcho. Tommy Lee Jones, he won't let him have that. And so Tommy Lee Jones, he's just asking, it's like, okay, what's going on, fellas? And Don Cheadle's like, well, apparently at this one specific intersection, chat, there's been an accident of some kind. Some people, they're like the steam pipe burst, and people are freaking out. It might have some fatality. Tommy Jones is like, don't you worry about that. I'm gonna go over and check. Meanwhile, chat, we have the geologist group and they're doing their own thing. They're like, what may have caused this steam vent to explode? It doesn't make any sense to us. So we're going to go ahead and check it out ourselves. And maybe we'll go ahead and meet Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones goes, before he even gets there, chat, so they're looking at the steam vent, and this one fucker, he just pops up, and they're like, oh my god, and they pull him out, chat, and he just says, I'm burning, and they're like, and he's like, and they're asking, like, where are the others? Where are the other guys? And he's like, they burned up, and he turns to the side, chat, it looks like fucking Harvey Dent Two-Face. He's all purple, and like enlarged, it's just so serious goddamn burns. These are like 3rd-degree burns, chat. It's not looking good for this poor bastard. And those other guys, they just burned up. So this is not looking good for them. So Tommy Lee Jones, he gets there, he's like, okay, whatever happened to this guy is serious. Because they find all the bodies, Chad. They start to find some of the other bodies. They're putting them in the body bags, just like all charred. It's like, okay, shit. We have to close down this entire intersection right here. And this is like over like a public park, Chad. Public park, the tar pits of LA, that famous landmark. So we got to get people clear. And all the, the safety inspectors, one safety inspector, Chad, that works at Tommy Lee Jones. This is a character actor. You've seen him before. Oh, God. Is it John Lynch? John Carroll Lynch played the husband in Fargo. And, he's like, listen, we'll handle it. We don't want to close anything down, that'll cause even worse traffic in LA. And chat, listen, I've been to LA, and it's the absolute worst traffic I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, we type, like, on Google Maps, it's like, oh, our destination is 8 minutes away, and it recalculates when we get on the goddamn highway, 48 fucking minutes. So if they close down this intersection, people are that's like 6 hours that people have lost their entire day. People are going to get to work. They're not going to be able to get home and feed their kids. They're not going to be able to relieve the babysitters, taking care of the newborn baby, chat. People would be fucked here. So I totally understand John Lynch's thinking. It's like, he is not the villain of this movie, chat. They tried him like, oh, he's kind of literally responsible. It's like, no. He is thinking ahead. It's like, I know it's going to cause mass destruction. Now, true, the volcano causes more, but at the same time, I understand what John Lynch was thinking in here, Chad. He's like, listen, it's terrible that these guys died. Absolutely, I feel bad about it, but we can't stop the freeways in LA. It'll be a mess. That would have been a disaster movie itself, Chad. But Tommy Lee Jones is like, okay. Listen, when everyone else, like, you got John Lynch and some of the other guys, they're doing interviews with reporters, saying everything's fine. There was an accident. Sadly, we lost some people. Tommy Lee Jones, he's talking to his buddy, whose name I don't know or don't remember, Chad. It doesn't matter. He's a man of many professions, because here he's kind of like working with Tommy Lee Jones at the Emergency Management Center, but then he's also a SWAT guy we see later on in the film. And so I'm like, okay, he's just a man of many. He's a Renaissance man, Chad. Tommy Lee Jones with the Renaissance man. Tommy Lee Jones goes, okay, listen, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go in to the tunnel and see what's happening here right now. So they go in that tunnel, chat. They put on some like heavy firefighter gear, and as soon as they get in, they're like, whoo, it's hot in here. Okay, I can see why these guys dropped dead, but we don't see the spot where apparently they just got steamed to death. That's what they're saying. They hit a steam pocket, chat. That's what caused it. It was the earthquake from earlier. It's like, this doesn't look right. And so they see a head check, and they see all these dead rats around this crack. And the closer they head over there, and they're like, oh my God, it gets even hotter, Chad. And as they're stepping, they notice, like, oh my God, our shoes are literally melting on the concrete in this tunnel. And like Tommy Lee Jones goes to reach for his walkie-talkie, and when he presses against himself, like his oxygen like tube thing, it's melting too, Chad. So it's like, okay, this is we gotta get the fuck out of here. And so, Chad, before they can though, they hear that fucking rumbling. They're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. And so they just start fucking hustling. And this time, Chad, it's just exploding. Something's going off. And they're like, oh, and this huge belch of flame comes out of the crack. And it's coming right for Tommy Lee Jones and the Renaissance Man. Tommy Lee Jones like, fuck this. They get to like a little side alcove room of a door, Chad. And they trying to push against the door, but the flames are kind of bursting through. They do manage to close it. They're taking off their masks. They're just dripping in sweat. We got to get the fuck out of here. They go up there, Chad. They're exhausted. Like, that is not a steam pocket. That is something else completely. That's some serious nonsense. We have to investigate this thoroughly. Meanwhile, chat, we cut back to, what's her name? Anne Hetch. She's got, chat, as you guys point out before, she has the scene with Tommy Lee Jones. She's showing off that ass, but that's not, we're not there yet. But Anne Hetch, she's doing a bit of a report with Velma. Chat, Velma doesn't want to talk to the reporter. She gets a little nervous, and Anne Hetch is like, don't worry about it, honey. I got this covered. She's explained the whole earthquake situation. We're still trying to identify what might have caused it, but don't worry, everything's fine. Anne Heche meets up with Tommy Lee Jones at the same time. She's like, I want to go down there. He's like, the fuck you will go down there? Absolutely not. Me and my friend Renaissance Man almost died while we're down there, so you are not going. Anne Heche, she's like, you don't tell me what to do, Tommy Lee Jones. And they're like, they have some chemistry chat. They're button heads, but clearly they like each other. Tommy Lee Jones, he's divorced. He has his daughter for the weekend or for the week or something as he's on vacation. But he's like, he wants to find a girlfriend, Chad. And he likes Anne Heche because they have that similar mindset. Like, don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna do it my way. And they have that connection, that sexual intention, Chad. You see it. And so Tommy Lee Jones, he goes back home. And he's like, I gotta go take care of my daughter. That's what I gotta do. She's probably drank all those eggs. She's got the salmonella. I gotta take her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Chad, Anne Heche is like, well, now that he's gone, we're gonna do what we want. And so Anne Heche and Velma, they go into the same town. Let's see what's up, at 4 a.m. in the morning. And during all this time, Chad, we see other scenes. Oh, Banner Kane! By the way, welcome to stream. And who is this? Who is this new Huckleberry? Wandering Dane 90. Thank you for the follow and welcome to stream. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing very well. Oh, that's it. No, we'll get into it. Yeah, Keith David's in this movie. He's in it as a police officer. He has about, collectively, probably 10 minutes of screen time. He kind of works it like Tommy Lee Jones, and he just yells at people to do things. That's all Keith David does. There's so many characters and sub-stories here, chat. You just forget about them. That's my biggest problem. I'm trying to focus on just the main players at this point. There's a whole thing where there's a subway conductor, and he's on his shift. He's trying to learn how to. He's reading a book about how to write a great screenplay. A screenplay that always sells, and that's what he wants to do because he lives in L.A. Everyone wants to be a writer, a director, an actor. He has his own little story chat. You're following this doctor who's dating this very either dating or is the fiance to this very wealthy individual who's going to have this huge penthouse in this building that was just completed or just about to be completed next to a hospital she works at. She has a story here. It's always back and forth. It's just hard to keep track of what scene falls into what scene. All right, I'll remember to get back to some of this stuff as kind of the storylines start to mesh. But right now, all these things are taking place. And we can cut to the subway guy, I guess, at this point. Because it kind of coincides with Anne Heche's role. Subway guy, he starts the thing. There's another fucking massive earthquake, chat. And that causes the subway to crash. All the P's stuck inside and all the passengers stuck inside. Meanwhile, we cut back to Anne Heche and Velma. And they're exploring the tunnel too. And they're like, their detectors are going all the way out. They're going back and forth. It's like, this is not good. Velma, and not smart like Velma from Scooby-Doo. She stands directly over the crevice, chat. The crevasse, as I like to call it. And she's just taking samples. And she goes, whoo, it's hot down there. And all of a sudden, chat, the earthquake hits, and and then she's almost falling down. And they got these heavy suits on with tinfoil and shit. And she's like, I can't get up, I can't come in. And then Anne Heche, she comes over, and Velma's like, I'm burning. And we look down, she's like a baked potato, chat, like a baked potato Velma. And we look down, we see the magma, chat, we see the magma. Or not, they don't call it magma yet, they just say it's hot gas. It's just a lot of hot gases, fumes. And Velma, she's screaming I'm burning. And Anne Heche, she's trying to lift Velma, but she's too heavy. And then, chat, there is just this gush. This whirlwind of gaseous hot fumes, and it envelops Velma, and Anne Heche is knocked back, and Anne Heche, she looks over the crevasse, and Velma is no more. She burned up or disintegrated because of the gaseous fumes. She fell into the crevasse. Maybe there's magma down there. I guess that's what happened. So Velma, she is the first victim of the movie, chat. She got hard. That's a bad way to go. Death via gaseous fumes. It's kind of horrific. Honestly, of all the deaths in this movie, this is the one that's not goofy, because that just sounds horrible. I would not want to die that way. But Velma, she's definitely dead, chat. She's definitely dead. Meanwhile, so this massive earthquake is affecting all of LA. The houses are shifting, foundations are getting all fucked up. We cut back to Tommy Lee Jones's home. His house is all shaking. His daughter's freaking out. His daughter has really bad anxiety, and so during hectic situations, chaotic situations, she just shuts down completely. She starts screaming. Call her dad. She's like a 13-year-old girl. She still sleeps with a teddy bear, chat. Tommy Jones is like, God damn it, I gotta go get her. So he gets her, chat. He's like, come here, we gotta stay under the door frame. Tommy Jones, he is of sound mind, gets the daughter. She's trying, again, no fight or flight instinct. She doesn't know what to do. This time she's just trying to run away. It's like, no, come back here. We have to hide under the door frame. This girl will be dead without Tommy Lee Jones, chat. It happens multiple times in the movie. They're in the door frame, everything's shaking. Glass, pictures, all these mementos just destroyed, chat. Tommy Jones is like, all right, fuck. I'm going to take you home to your mother, and during this, I'm going to go and stop by the office and see what the hell just happened, because that was a massive earthquake. No one knows what's going on. Meanwhile, Chad, we cut back to Anne Hesh, and she's crawling out of the sewer drain. And she's just blubbering and crying at this point because Velma just died. Of course, it was kind of her fault because she was the one that convinced Velma to go down the tunnel in the first place. Said, Velma, good fight or flight instincts, but not a lot of, self-esteem. Like, Anne Hesh, she played on that, and she convinced Velma to go down there, and Anne Hesh should feel guilty for that. And I'm sad that Velma is no longer mentioned throughout the rest of the movie because, Anne Hesh, owes her family, a shit ton of money. So she goes up there, the city of LA, everyone's looting everything. This is a funny scene, because she's taking off all of her equipment, chat, and the looters, they're just picking it up and taking it too. For no reason. They don't even know what it is. And they're like, hey, free shit, and they're just taking it, and it's like, this guy can sell this for something, and they're just running off. Anne Hesh, she notices that the public lake that's there, it's just bubbling, it's boiling. She notices the tar pits, that's huge, big old bubbles are bursting. Even the tar is boiling. It's this does not look good. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's coming outside their homes, just figure out what the hell just happened. It was an 8.7 earthquake, Chad. It was bad. And so, Tommy Lee Jones, he goes ahead. He's driving his daughter either to work or to their mother's. He's getting a call from Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle's like, listen, man, we got things handled here. It's pretty chaotic right now, but you stay on vacation. Tommy Jones is like, I am not staying on vacation, man. This is a serious situation. I'm gonna drop with my daughter, and I'm gonna come to you. And Don Cheadle's like, listen, I want to be in charge. Okay, I need the paycheck, but it doesn't matter, chat, because while this is happening, Tommy Lee Jones, he's noticing things ahead of him, and all these manhole covers just start bursting off. And huge steam, from a teapot or something, is just going right up into the sky. And it's boom, 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 one after the other. And people are just freaking out whoa, cars are getting blasted in the air. Tommy Jones like, oh, holy shit. And all of a sudden, chat, Tommy Lee Jones, he goes ahead and looks over at the tar pits. Big old bubbles are bursting out, and there's and there's fucking lightning. There's lightning. I don't know how this works, but there's literally lightning striking the tar pits, and just like a whirlwind of smoke, actually going like a whirlwind, chat, just spinning like a twister, all striking the ground at once. And and he's like, huh, that's unusual. And there's a big fucking huge explosion, and there you have it, chat. It's the volcano. It's here. And it's erupted in downtown Los Angeles, chat, downtown LA. Tommy Jones like, that's not good. Daughter, she's just freaking out at this point. People are crashing cars and everything. And then the lava, it just starts flowing. Just starts flowing right now. We got a fire truck that's like, oh, wee woo, just going towards the direction of the lava. Don't do that, fire truck. And I think a manhole cover bursts. What happens, chat, is it gets hit by a lava ball. That's what they call them in the movie, like an actual lava ball. Hits the side of the fire truck, it spins out of control. Tommy Lee Jones is, okay, daughter, Susie, I want to call her Susie, chat. We're going to call her Susie for the sake of the movie. Karen? Maybe it's Karen. Katie. Might be, I'm going to say Katie, chat. So he says, Katie, stay in the car. Tommy Lee Jones, he's trying to help these firefighters out. One guy's really fucked up. He's still stuck in the front. He's like, help me. Tommy Jones, I'm going to help you. Also, the doctor lady I mentioned before, Jeff, the doctor, she's there. She's helping out all the firefighters too. She's putting one guy's a leg in a splint. One guy's a serious concussion. She's trying to, tamp down the bleed and everything. She loads him up into her car. But while this is happening, chat, the lava's just keeping on flowing. And it finally reaches Tommy Lee Jones' car. And the daughter's like, okay, maybe I should leave the car now. And she gets out of the car, chat. But then it starts another massive fire, so she's kind of cut off. She's in between the cars in front of her. Massive fire to her right. Lava flow to her left. Tommy Lee Jones is like, God damn it, Katie! And he runs right towards her, chat. He's like, I get my daughter. So he jumps over the flames, as Tommy Lee Jones often does. Grabs her. She gets a little magma on her thigh. She starts freaking out at me, as you would. The bear, it burns alive, chat. That bear's dead. I think Tommy Lee Jones has a dog at one point. I think it's fine. It escapes. So dog's okay. Doggo is okay. Anytime there's a scene of a doggo, chat, don't worry. The dog is going to be fine. So he's like, all right, Katie, hold on. So Tommy Lee Jones, he grabs her. He jumps over the flames of his car, and he saves her, Chad. He gives her to the doctor. He's like, please take my daughter. She's got burns. Maybe she can help you. She's too much trouble. She's just way too much trouble right now. I need to concentrate. Doctor takes her and the firefighters to the hospital. She has her whole little subplot. Daughter takes care of some kids whose families are injured or dead. That's what she does for the rest of the movie, chat. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Now, we come back to Tommy Lee Jones, and he was like, fuck, I couldn't save those firefighters, because one firefighter, he tried to save the other guy, they both get stuck in the car, and the lava flow just fucking hits them, chat. And they're just burning alive inside. They're screaming and everything. The lava flow just takes the fire truck down the street. Tommy Lee Jones is like, shit, that's not good. At this point, Tommy Lee Jones, he like meets up with Anne Heche, I think, and they do various heroic things. There's a point where it's like, okay, we got to try to think of a way to stop the lava flow, because it's just going to keep on flowing all the way to the ocean. It's going to destroy all of LA unless we manage to stop it in some capacity. They save one guy who apparently collapsed because of smoke inhalation. They use like a fire truck ladder to like hold the guy up, and like they're like, ah, like on the jungle gym and shit. Remember when you were a kid, Chad, you're like, ah, like there's lava below me. It's like that scene except real. And so they carry them over. The one guy gets set on fire. He's like, ah, my legs, and he's screaming, chat. It's not looking good. Meanwhile, what's his name? I always forget this actor's name. The guy who played the husband in Fargo, John Lynch. John Lynch, he's like, okay, I'm gonna take this situation serious now. He gets a radio that subway, there's a stuck, remember earlier, chat, the subway conductor? So he learns that it's still stuck in the subway system, and lava's gonna be coming to get it very soon. And so he goes down there with his boys, chat, his boys and his girls, and they get all the people off. They've collapsed because of just the overwhelming heat. And so they're taking all these people off. But even before they do all, but when they take all the people off, the passengers, they're like, where's the subway conductor? And, you know, John Lynch is like, God damn it, I'll go get him. He goes all the way to the front of the car. You know, the lava's already underneath the subway car. It's like he's stepping on like a frying pan, chat, because his shoes are just melting off while he's just carrying it. Listen, the subway conductor, he's not like a slim fellow, okay? He's a big boy. Big boy, much like John Lynch. But John Lynch is like, he's got that super strength. And I was like, this is like the fight or flight instinct kicking in, chat. And he's fighting through this. And he's carrying this guy. And the people are just like, fuck him, fuck the subway conductor, just save yourself. But John Lynch says, absolutely not. I'm going to be a hero in some capacity. And then like all the lava's in front of him, chat. And first of all, there was no way he would be able to make that jump, even if he didn't have the subway conductor. He's like, listen, I'm fucked no matter what. And so he's like, all right, fuck it. And he literally jumps into the lava, chat. Feet fucking first. He jumps in, and which, first of all, as soon as you jumped in, you would collapse in on yourself. Your body, the amount of pain that you would feel, you would not be able to support any of your weight. You would just fall face first into it. The pain would be overwhelming, I would expect. I'm not a volcano expert, but I would imagine sticking your feet into liquid hot lava would be painful. But now he's like, fuck it. He steps right in there, chat, like ankle deep lava. And with all of John Lynch's strengths, he's this man. I'm going to say a good either between 5 to 10 feet, chat. Let's say 5 to 10 feet. He heaves this, he fucking throws him over. He's on fire. That guy's kind of a little fucked up. Like, he's part of his body's on fire. But he throws him over. They catch him. You know, he collapses on it. And they just watch John Lynch melt. This is the scene that I'm talking about, chat. They just watch this man. He just goes, and he slowly goes like in the lava. Like, I don't think lava works that way. I just don't. But you like, it's like there's no. He's just slowly like going like he's just like this the whole time. And I don't think that's how it works. I believe. And so while he's slowly going in, you think, man, you got ahead of me. I think he almost did the thumbs up, but I couldn't tell. It was like more like, what do I do with my hands? And when he gets to like his waist, that's when he dies. But then he just melts into the lava, chat, and that is the end of John Lynch. And they call it the clip. If you go on Movie Clips YouTube channel, movieclips.com, they call it a hero's death. And I'm like, listen, yes, it was heroic what he did, but it looks stupid. It looks so fucking ridiculous. And this is one of the scenes you need to watch. You don't even have to watch the movie, but watch that scene. Oh my God. So John Lynch is no more, chat, but he did save the people on the subway and the subway conductor. Meanwhile, we cut up back to Anne Heche and Tommy Lee Jones, and they come up with a plan. They think, okay, this also, goddamn, Keith David joins them at one point, chat, but he's just playing like, I'm the police officer. I'm going to direct people to do things. That's all he does in the film, chat. He's just to direct people to do things and go, yeah, that's basically it. I wish Keith David had more to do here, but he doesn't. He's just there to kind of lend moral support to Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche. So Tommy Lee Jones, he talks to Anne Heche. He's like, listen, is there any way to stop this? She's like, I don't know. And so Tommy just goes, okay, fuck. We're going to erect concrete barriers around the lava flow and to stop it. and we're just gonna pour hundreds upon hundreds of gallons, thousands of gallons of water on it to cool it. And she's going, I don't know if that's gonna work. But he's like, listen, we don't have any options here, all right? LA's just burned. There's various scenes of LA burning. There's one really fucking goofy moment too. Another like tertiary sub story, and it's like it's trying to be like, oh, so deep. It's a commentary on African American communities and the police department. And there's this whole thing how it starts off like, the police are, they're arresting someone, and there's this particular black person who's getting in the face of the cop, and they have they are constantly arguing chat. And there's a scene later on in the movie where the black guy who was arguing with the cop and the cop who was, being a little bit racist, they work together, chat, to save the day. It's like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing here, but it does not fucking work whatsoever. Mr. Lowry, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well today. It's just like, okay, whatever. I know you're having a little commentary, but sure. Anyway. So where are we? Oh yeah, so they managed to erect the concrete barrier, chat. Oh, the 90s, they erect that concrete barrier all around this specific like street, chat. It stops the water flow, and then they have like this pack, a huge pack of just helicopters coming in there, chat, dumping thousands of gallons of water. The firefighters, they're spraying all the water into the magma and the lava, and it's all stopped. Finally, unity, yay, unity. That's what they do. They stop the lava flow. Everyone's fucking cheering. Tommy Lee Jones, he's cheering. Keith David, he's cheering. All the various extras, they're cheering too. It's a great moment for our heroes. But chat, Anne Hatch, she says, I'm gonna go ahead and see where the lava flow might go just in case this doesn't work. So she goes down one of the tunnels, chat, at one point. And she finds out that the lava flow is now going beneath them, not on top, but beneath. And it's using the tunnel systems in LA, whether it be sewer tunnels or subway tunnels. And it's all going to be coalescing where, chat? Where? At the hospital, where Tommy Lee Jones sent his daughter. So now shit's getting real. Anne Hesh contacts him, and Jones like, listen, this is what it's going to be. We got to go and get to the hospital. And so they get up there, chat. She's detecting, and then we get the butt shot, the very gratuitous ass shot of Anne Hatch. But good on Tommy Lee Jones. Again, the director, the cameraman, and the cinematographer, they were obsessed with it. But Tommy Lee Jones, I'm a professional actor, I'm a married man, I'm not going to look at Anne Hatch's butt, even though it's literally about a foot in front of my face. I'm not going to do it. Not going to break contact with the road. I'm in character. I'm going to go save my daughter. And good on Tommy Lee Jones, chat. Seriously. And so Anne Hatch, she detects, it's like, okay, it's going to hit the hospital in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, so 29.5 or something like that. Tommy's like, fuck, that's not enough time. So they get to the hospital, chat. Meanwhile, I hate shit like this. Kids don't listen. Katie, his daughter, she's babysitting these two kids, one girl, one boy. And of course, the fucking boy, he can't sit still for 5 goddamn minutes, and he wanders off, chat. He wanders off. And the girl's like, yeah, he fucked off somewhere. I don't know. I'm just going to draw. I'm going to draw right now. I'm very stressed out. I think my mom's dead. I'm on this years of therapy. So he's drawing. Oh, Pangeastic. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Pangeastic. Thank you for the 50 biddies. Welcome to stream. Hope you're enjoying the review so far. And so she tries to find the kid. Meanwhile, chat, we cut to Tommy Lee Jones and Hash. They get there. And they're trying to figure out, it's like, okay, we can direct the flow of the lava. We did that with the concrete barriers. How do we do it now? And they're just trying to fucking figure it out. Because if they don't, chat, the volcano is literally going to erupt beneath the hospital and kill all the patients there. The hospital is overpopulated at this point. They have literally 2,000 plus patients there. All those people are going to die or be seriously injured. So we got to do something. And so they figure out, okay, we have to create a man-made trough all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And we got to set up all these, thankfully it's nearby, so they got to set up all these various explosives to divert it into this one pipeline, and it goes off into the ocean. So they got to create the trough, but also it's that's not going to be enough, because we need something big to really start the flow. And they're like, okay, let's fucking blow up a building, check, because it's right behind Tommy Jones. Let's blow up that big old skyscraper, which also happened to be the building that the rich guy lived in with the nurse, or the doctor, I think. And the rich guy, he's a piece of shit. He's always saying to the doctors, why? These are poor people. They're poor and sick. Fuck them. Fuck them. Come with me back to my building. She's like, I'm here for my patients. Good on you, nurse or / doctor. And he fucks off, chat. And so they set up all the charges, chat. And at that point, the last charge, remember Renaissance Man? Renaissance Man is back. And even though I thought he worked for the emergency detection thing of LA, now he's a SWAT guy. He's a police officer, so I don't know. And so he's with the SWAT squad, chat. They're in the building. They're putting all these things down, explosives, to have the building keel over, direct the lava flow. But as all the last of the boys go out, chat, the last two guys, something happens. Another earthquake happens, and a big old like air conditioning duct falls on one of the guys, the squad leader, I think. And he's like, my leg. And Renaissance Man sees that his leg is just fucking mangled, and he can't lift it up to save the guy. And, fucking Keith David, he's just like, okay, hey guys, we got everything set up here. Are we good? Are we good to go? And fucking Renaissance Man, SWAT leader, they just look into each other's eyes, chat, and they said, everything's good to go. They're going to make the heroics. And this is the death scene that works, chat, because I like it. You're not fucking melting the lava. It's like, okay, I understand. This works for me personally. Like, we're going to make the sacrifice to save 2,000 plus lives, probably even more. And so Keith David, he just starts, all right, let's do it. And he's having a good time. He's just like boom, boom, boom. He's activating these with a little electro, chat. They're all going off. The trough is made. And then he gets to that last one, chat. Gets to that last one with the two SWAT guys and a Renaissance Man SWAT leader. And they just hold each other's hand. They just close their eyes. And boom, they get blown up too. And the building's just about to come down, chat. But during all this time, Katie, she's looking for that little dumb shit who wandered off. And somehow he gets in front of the building that's going to blow up. And Katie finds him. Tommy Lee Jones is like, fuck, they're right there. And Tommy Lee Jones, he just starts fucking booking it, chat. He's doing his Tom Cruise run right towards Katie and that dumb little shit. And he picks them both up. And he takes cover, chat. That building comes down. And the lava, it starts getting redirected. But thank God Tommy Lee Jones saved the daughter and that dumb little kid. Saved them both, chat. And everyone's cheering. And we get a nice cut of the lava going to the Pacific Ocean. And it's like, whoo, he saved so many lives. And, Don Cheadle, he comes to the scene, and he's like, Tommy Lee, we got some problems up in Malibu now. Massive mudslides caused by the earthquake. The goddamn highway's backed up more than usual. We could really use your help. And Tommy Lee's like, listen, fuck that. I've stopped a volcano, okay? I'm on vacation. Don Cheadle, you always want to be in charge? Here you go, man. Have a good day. And Don Cheadle's like, yes, I can be in charge. And so Don Cheadle's all about it. And then, shall we get this title card sequence where they have the new volcano, and it's still active. It's still active in downtown Los Angeles, chat. Are we going to get a sequel? No, because the movie bombed, so we did not get a sequel, chat. But that's Volcano. That is the disaster film Volcano. It was two volcano movies that came out that year, and it was the one that lost, chat. And as I said before, it's a disaster film. That's exactly what it is. You don't really get to spend much time with any of these characters. Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche are the most charismatic things about it. Had they actually been on screen more of each other and we just followed really them, I think it would have made a much better movie instead of these goddamn side stories. I don't care about these people. And even though some people that we cover, it's so schmaltzy their storylines. Come on. So, yeah, I would give it a high rental. There's some fun stuff in there, but not enough where I think it warrants much of a watch. If you're curious, then go find those clips on YouTube that I suggested. All the death sequences, they're pretty fun. But yeah. That's Volcano. What about you guys? What do you think of Volcano? Oh. He's impressive when he runs in, man. He is. I mean, he did fight the Batman, so he needs to be. What, down the wrong pipe yet? Oh, God. Forgot that movie was sequel bait. Yes, it was. Exactly. Let's assume San Andreas is the spiritual sequel. Yeah, I guess so. That was an earthquake, right? Yes, I saw that movie. God, I don't remember what this... It was an earthquake that did it, not a tsunami. I'm pretty sure it was an earthquake. God, film's so forget. I mean, I watched it in the theater. It was pure fucking spectacle, chat. But I literally don't remember what was the disaster element. I think it was an earthquake. Well, the volcano scene's at least somewhat good. I mean, the thing is, man, they're dated. It's like all the special effects you see, they're dated, and it looks fake. And if you like it if you like campy movies, then I guess I would suggest it. Because when you see people melting and shit, it's it really takes away the drama that's happening on screen, the horror, because it looks so funny. And so no, I don't really think it is. Maybe when they have the fireballs hitting the cars, and it's well, that looks kind of good. But even the fireballs, these stop motion fireballs when in the sky and stuff, they're rotoscope fireballs. It's it's very weird. It's classic cheese. Tuned Out nailed it. It's classic cheesy campy goodness. And so if you like those kind of films, then I'd suggest watching it, but don't spend a lot of money on this. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I think I got it for $3.99. That's how I would check it out.